hits the handstand. Nice pickup into the stretch body swing. On one handle. Got a D for it so far. Going for the Bujnari. Keeps the swing. That's such a difficult one to control from it. Triple Russian in the middle of the Wu. I tell you, this is a great start. Spindle, hands absolutely parallel. Very, very nice work indeed into another Triple Russian. Packing the difficulty. Big guns indeed here from Daniel. Travelling back in the Zavado. Keep the swing. Well, that's a huge bid. Daniel Keatings swinging straight, swinging clean, and keeping his rhythm.
Daniel Keatings is through. Well, he's laid down the gauntlet now. There's his coach, Paul Hall. Well, delight. Lewis Smith knows he's got a job to do, as does Max Whitlock.
But he didn't just do a job, I'll tell you what. Keatings did the job. He didn't hold back. That was so difficult, that routine.
Oh, and so elegant and effortless. I thought that was the best I've seen Daniel Keatings swing on pommel horse. Look at the style.
For so many years, he's been in the shadows, but this could well be his moment.
It's easy to forget that this guy trains with the best, competed with the best, has won a European gold, and here it came good. I've seen him come to grief, but look at the placement of the hands there, absolutely parallel. And the code adjustments will tell you it's 3/10 every time you do it. Look at him, is he smiling there?
Yeah, he knows, he knows.
Wow.
Yes!
He's smiling there.
You come here, don't you, Mitch, with an idea of what it is you want to achieve, and to absolutely deliver with your own expectations must be the best feeling.
Absolutely. You can do no better. You can wish for no better.
16.058. Look at the 7-2 difficulty. Close to 9. Well, the gymnasts here in this pommel horse final have real work to do.
You were asking the question earlier. Now, Max and Lewis cannot hold back. 16. Dear, dear, oh dearie me.
Jack Davis for Wales now. 18 years old, youngest in this final.
Very nice. This flop, interesting they call it that, the work on one handle, multiple circles. Oh, and he's going for Triple Russian in the middle. This is good swinging. Nicely extended at the front. Very confident work from Jack Davis, tell you what. This is a good routine. Travelling forward, and he too has got discipline with the hand placement. Now come on, don't lose the rhythm. Lift your hips, lift your feet now. Yes, that was a lovely routine, Jack Davis.
Jack Davis going for a very high execution score here.
But really stylish, good, strong work.
Lovely, clean stuff from him.
He looks a little bit like Max as he's swinging the pommel horse, doesn't he?
Delight there. Oh, Pete Haysham, the coach, I've known him many years, he'll be delighted.
And he wasn't overawed in any way at all. Just came to this competition to work pommel horse. That was the only piece he did. And quite often that can be a bit nerve-wracking, but not for this young guy. Really strong, impressive work. I don't think the difficulty level will be quite a 7, but very well executed.
Very well disciplined, lovely hip discipline. Watch the hand disappear. That's the sign of good technique. If you get the hand behind the hips on the circle, that's good technique. Lovely line. And look how he kept it here.
Again, you can see the elation.
The relief, I think, in that case, Matt.
Oh,
Well spotted, Chris. That was relief.
Just don't want to make a complete fool of yourself in front of all these people, do you?
14.8. A very, very respectable score in this company.
Yes, indeed. And when you think at a 6 difficulty.
Well, Lewis Smith for England. He's put in so much work back in the gym for his comeback. Well, now is his time to shine.
And the question about difficulty will soon be answered. He needs 2 of these handstands. Like that. And when he gets onto this one handle, he'll need a double stretched circle. Now he's going well. You'll see when he stretches. There's the first. No, he's played safe there. Clean in the spindle. Oh, it's a Busnari. Wait, and he's flaring on, picking up the circle. So this is where the difficulty's going to come up a bit. Magyar, now the Zivato. Now he'll step up, and this is crucial. Oh, and he's lost the rhythm. So that will be the difference, and the dismount will be in question. It'll only be a C. That is not another.
Well, he's enjoying the moment for what it's worth. It may not be gold this time for Lewis Smith, but it was all about proving that he could come back.
Well, that was a really impressive routine. Until the very end, I was thinking, goodness, how are these judges going to split them? And then he gave them their answer, didn't he? He did their job for them.
That is such a... I mean, to pack in, the Busnari takes it out of you, and then you have to do a similar skill right at the end with the same fluidity. But he really did have a go here. The 2 handstands, the second handstand was a little bit short, but let's have a look at it. But he got onto the end, stepped up, and you watch the leg trail, and it's good night Irene once that happens. But the Busnari was very successfully done. He's a big man, you know, and he's very, very sure of hand placement on the one handle. I wonder how Paul Hall feels with 2 such brilliant performers in this final.
Oh, he must be absolutely thrilled and proud to be out there with them both.
But the execution of his work through the routine, but that there is the pause, that's the moment.
But if they're hard, that's not a dismount. Well, they might give him a C. But in this company, with the deduction for falter as well, well, look at him, he's a real sportsman. He did a great job to come out and do what he did.
No doubt he'll go. He does. He goes into second. It's a score of 14.966 for Lewis Smith. Dan Keatings for Scotland leads this very exclusive group of gymnasts. Gabriel Gann. He was just outside the medals at the last Commonwealth Games. Posted a score of 13.866 in qualification.
Nice stretched hips. Straight into tongue 5, but does the straddle in, which devalues it a little bit, but nice and clean. And the scissor elements. Earns himself a nice E there on the one handle, so this is very good work from him. Tell you what, it's been a very good final so far. And he didn't hesitate through the sequence to give him a clear E dismount. Beg his pardon, it was a D, but it's what he needed.
And a similar approach to Jack Davis from Wales here, so it'll be interesting to see the battle between them two.
Very nice, stylish gymnast. He didn't qualify with anything like such a difficult D score, but a good line, light and slight, that's the name. of the game for easy pommel work, isn't it, Mitch?
Absolutely, and to swing light, to swing straight, and he's got a speed. It reminds me of the Australian Salatharai, who used to swing very quickly. Another small man, but look at how that hand is hidden behind the hips. Lovely technique, good extension, lovely shape inside support as well. This is very good quality work.
Keen to see the difficulty score, or whether or not it'll be higher than 5-4.
Well, I'll tell you what, it needs to be to get up to Jack Davis, who's 14.8 at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah, with a 6 difficulty. But that's good work from him. Good quality.
Well, Keating leads ahead of Smith, with Jack Davis in third at the moment, 14.8. It's 14.2, 6.6. He did up his difficulty though. Look, 5.7. He had a go.
He did indeed. He knew he had to if he wanted any success in this final.
Well, someone else who will have a very, very good go is Daniel Purvis for Scotland. Now, he posted a 6-1 difficulty earlier. If he goes through...
Well, he's lived in the 15s before. He's no stranger to it. He again is trying the Buznari. This is a big... Oh, no, he didn't. Cut it short. Variation on it. 2 circles. Very swift in the Russian. Oh, pike there, but he rescued the swing. I'll tell you what, there's a determination about this. Through the Russians on the end. Travelling through, and the Magyar back in the Zavado. Keep the rhythm, young man. Well, there's another one. Another one through. Lovely work from Dan Purvis.
It's going to be the top end of 14. Can it creep into 15? Lewis Smith has 14.966 in second. Will that push him into third?
Are you excited, Matt?
What a pommel horse final we are experiencing here. Come on, Dan.
Great to see Dan Purvis do well, though. He's faltered a bit this championships, and he was really at his fighting best there.
Yeah, he really did. He's been criticised too for being piked at the front, but he kept the swing going, and this has proved crucial. To be able to keep rhythm in any handstand elements, including the dismount. You see the hands one in front of the other there. It's hard to be critical, but the judges have to separate them somehow.
What's your prediction, Mitch?
Well, I'd like to see him get a 15. He certainly, with a, what did he do? What's his difficulty?
Difficulty was 6-1 in qualification.
Yeah, okay, so he needs an 8-9. I don't think he gave too much away. He was piked badly on one of the circles on one handle, but are the judges seeing it?
He took us by surprise with parts of his routine, didn't he? Because he sort of navigated his way through it differently to what he's done before. He wondered whether or not to put an extra little turn on there and thought, you know what, I'll play it safe.
Get off when you're winning.
Well,
but I have to say this, technically, not quite a stretch to some of them, and certainly not a stretch as this guy.
the last man up, Max Whitlock, he's just adjusting the handles on the pommel horse, whilst the judges come to their decision on Dan Purvis. Is he going to be up in the top 3? He's fourth, 14.516. Execution down at around 8.4. Harsh, but that's in my book.
Well, the judges are doing a good job out there. They're sticking to the new rules. Hand placement.
Lewis Smith then guaranteed a medal. But what colour? Well, it'd be golden time again for Max Whitlock. He's more than capable, but a big score to beat, 16.058.
Handstand, very secure. One Russian, 2 Russians. This is great, he is not holding back. He really needs that 7-3, and if anything, so far, he's more stretched. Now, when he picked up from this in qualifying, same mistake, but he's picked it up. Slightly piked on the pickup. There's the spindle. Very, very difficult work. Travelling forward. Good placement of the hands. Still going. Go on, you could hear Scott Hahn in the background. I swear it was him. There we go. Oh, he keeps his rhythm. He's going back again. That's an E dismount. Now he really got hold of it. Remember, it's a 7-3 difficulty. Only a tenth up on Keatings in terms of difficulty.
And was the execution quite as good? Not to my eye.
No, it did. He shouldn't beat Daniel with that.
Well, I don't know if it creep into the 16s.
No, to be honest, you know, it's easy for us up here. But Daniel Keatings, he really went through something special. There was a hesitation in the Bujnari. He was heavily picking up from it, and Keatings had no such break. If justice is done, Keatings will hold on to that gold medal.
Oh.
And you see a little brush there.
He flattered the horse, didn't he?
But, you know, we have to speak as we see, and I see this as a silver. I'm a great admirer of Max. Beautiful work. Confident on one handle. Now, and there you could see that was a big break and a big pike at the back.
He's fantastically able to readjust though, isn't he? Many a gymnast would have sat on the pommel horse at that stage.
Oh, right.
He just sort of had a little bit of break of line and then carried on, picked it up again. He's really, and that's, I think, his great strength, that he is able to think quickly or adjust his body very quickly.
And you have to know whether the judges are sharp enough, keen enough and determined enough to pick up on the shapes. They are told that you need to pick up on the quality of shape. To my mind, it was silver, but let's see.
It's silver for Max Whitlock, a score of 15.966. It was close to 16, but there is your golden boy, Scotland's Daniel Keatings. Well, we thought the smile was big yesterday when he got a silver in the men's all-around competition. But to achieve at this level, in this company, they were all here. Lewis Smith, Max Whitlock.
A great, great achievement for Dan. Great achievement for Dan, and probably, if you'd asked most people who their money was on, Dan would have been the least likely. They would have been going for Max or for Lewis, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, recently, Daniel's been up and down on pommel horse. He hasn't put 3 routines together in major competition. But Max Whitlock, he went out there, he really went for it. And at the end of the day, just as in qualifying, it was execution that just kept the score down. There's no question over his difficulty. But Lewis Smith, he did so well to make that final, and he did try to up his difficulty to make the difference.
Oh yes, he just ran out of steam a little bit, which is a little bit what happens when you've taken a break from training and you come back in. You just lose a little bit of that edge from when you're competing time and time again.
Well, Scott Hahn is a great coach and a great analyst of moves, and he would know in his heart that the right man took gold, and so will Max, I'm sure.
Oh yes, and Max is, any other pommel competition, Max would have won that, no doubt. But Dan worked today with something special.
So Lewis Smith didn't get the gold medal he wanted, but gave a very good account of himself to get a bronze. Brilliant stuff to come back and to show that sort of form.
What a final. We have all waited and wondered what the outcome would be when these three got together for the very first time and competed at this level. And, well, the lads did not disappoint. And joining us up here, Beth and myself, was Scotland's only gold medalist at the Commonwealth Games, Steve Frew, who has just had that title taken away.
I certainly have, Matt. Yeah.
Steve, it's now an exclusive club that Dan Keatings is a part of, and I'm sure he's a very welcomed member.
You know, Matt, I'm absolutely delighted for him. It's been a long time, 12 years coming, but the time had to come, and to see it happen here in Scotland, in Glasgow at the Commonwealth Games, was absolutely incredible. So happy for him.
You were delighted, weren't you, for him yesterday with the silver in the all-around, but you know, how different is the gold?
The gold is incredible. I think, you know, Dan puts all these hours into the training in the gym, the expectation, the pressure's on him, and under that sort of, you know, pressure, he pulled it off in front of the home crowd. It's absolutely wonderful stuff.
And we were saying, Beth, with him for so long, Dan Keatings, he's always been there. He's been the one that's taken on a lot of the pressure. He's pushed British gymnastics forward. Many gymnasts have come. They may have overtaken him at certain times, but it just feels right that here in front of a home crowd is delivered.
Sure does. I mean, he's had his ups and downs, obviously missing out on London 2012, but he's come here and used that as his Olympic Games. And do you know what? It was just unbelievable. And I think I was right in the fact that because he was first up, he didn't have a benchmark to follow. He had his score, and then Lewis and Max will have walked in and thought, oh, he's posted a 16. What are we going to do? We have to up our difficulty. And they both tried to up the difficulty, and didn't quite work. And
with the score of 16, you know, medalled at the Olympics as well. So let's just treat ourselves to another look of what was close to perfection. So starts well, and already he had this real flow, didn't he? We saw him actually on floor earlier on with this real tempo and rhythm and real business-like about his work.
I think it really helped him doing that floor routine, just getting the nerves out of the way, and then when he came to the pommel, he didn't have to worry about adjusting to the atmosphere, and he just flowed from beginning to end. There was no part where you thought, oh, he's losing the rhythm.
But obviously, Steve, you've got to wait right to the very end because that dismount can be so costly. So even at this stage, you didn't know if it would be even a medal. Yeah, Matt,
it's so crucial. You've got to remain calm on the pommel horse. Keep calm, even if you're going through very, very well. And he's swinging, he's going with the flow, he's going for gold, up to the handstand, into the pirouette, lands the feet and punches the air in delight. Just such a special moment, and finishing there with a smile of gold. And on the world, it's worth mentioning that Max beat the gymnast that pushed Lewis out of the gold medal position in the Olympics. The quality of the gymnasts that we have in the home nations it really is second to none. So with bearing in mind that, right, how do you think this will compare to the other medals that Dan's won at European level, knowing that those other two are here?
It's a massive achievement for him. I mean, it wasn't just a normal final. This was the hotly contested final of the whole Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
I think this is the one that they all wanted. This was the anticipated final of the Games. You know, we had 2 Olympic medalists, a European champion. They were all going for gold, and it was such an amazing final.
Yeah, and so a word on Lewis then. I mean, this was his big moment, wasn't it, of coming back? And
it was.
You could see in his face that, you know, he'd give it a good shot. He almost laughed, didn't he, at the end?
He did. I mean, you could see that he was adding the difficulty in throughout the routine. And do you know what? The whole routine was so clean and tidy, and he had that flair that we've seen so many times from Lewis.
There was real determination here, wasn't there, Steve?
There certainly was. Lewis was going for broke. He wasn't holding anything back. You know, such a great showman, Lewis Smith, such a great character that the sport needs. And he's swinging, he's cool, he's calm. And just at the very end, they're just losing form just a little bit. But he finishes off the routine. And I think he knows at that point that it's, you know, he gave it his best shot, I think.
Yeah, he did, but a difficult one to pitch, I think, from Lewis's perspective. You know, with the Olympics and the World Championships that we've seen him at before, there's a real focus on, you know, getting that medal and what have you. And this Commonwealth, it's been slightly different for him.
I think it was very different pressure. He's gone to Worlds and Olympics, coming home with that medal, whereas I think here, his big thing was he wanted to put the critics right. He wanted to show that he wasn't living the celeb lifestyle, and he had sort of fully focused back on his gymnastics, and he's still got that passion for our sport.
Yeah, and Max, I mean, he's been having a storming competition, but it just goes to show tiny little, you know, bend in the arms and whoosh, placings completely change.
Yeah, absolutely. I think going up last on any final is putting yourself under pressure.
Yeah.
It's a tough place to be. You've seen everybody go through the routines, and you know that you've got to find the best within yourself.
Yeah.
The very last gymnastical, it's not an easy place to be.
Now, are you part of this schedule, Steve, that you're putting these gymnasts through? Because you've been part of the bid and everything, haven't you?
Yeah.
Is this your fault that the gymnasts are working every single hour of the day?
You know, I was one of the...
The long and short of it is
absolutely.
yes.
You know, it's just great to see. I've done a few games already, and just to see the development of the gymnasts, they fully believe in themselves now. They're standing on the podium finally and getting the rewards that they truly deserve for the hours and training that they put in. It's wonderful.
But my point is, I think Max might be a little bit tired now, and just that tiny little bend in the arms might be a result of that. Obviously, he's got more finals to come, but it is quite full on this, isn't it, as far as qualification and all the finals are concerned?
It really is, because you know, it's split over a whole week. So if you've made the team finals and then the individual finals and then the 2 apparatus final days, it's quite a tough task. So
well, the gymnasts are out to receive their medals, and once again, it's a home nations affair. Lewis Smith, Dan Keatings, Max Whitlock. So we'll hand down to Mitch and Christine to talk us through the wonderful moment when yet more medals are given out to the home nations.
And what a final it was. Lewis Smith leads out 3 world-class pommel performers. Dan Keatings has found the miracle of form just at the right time. Max Whitlock, well, we know all about. He's on a roll. He's focused all the way through. He'll be delighted with his silver performance, as Lewis will with his bronze. But the man that everybody wanted to come up with it, he's such a nice guy. Dan Keatings emerges on top of the pile.
The medals will be presented by Vice Patron, Commonwealth Games Federation.
His Royal Highness, the Earl of Wessex.
The Earl of Wessex.
The presenting.
Accompanied by Secretary General, Commonwealth Games Association
Alongside
Wales,
Helen Phillips.
Helen Phillips.
Who's done so much for Welsh gymnastics, as well as in a Commonwealth role.
The winner of the bronze medal, representing England, Lewis Smith.
Lewis Smith. He came here to prove something to himself. Those of us that know him and know the sport, he didn't have anything to prove to us. This was for him, and this was to show that his heart is still in gymnastics. And that bronze medal, so well deserved. Well done, Lewis. And you didn't hold back. Great stuff. Lewis Smith takes a bronze medal to add to his considerable collection.
Of the silver medal, representing England, Max Whitlock.
A silver to add to 3 gold. However way you look at it, he's had a stupendous games. And he was the only other man who could get near a 16. And as it turned out, he was just 15.966, as close as you can get. So that was a superb performance for him to take silver. Max Whitlock, gymnast extraordinaire. So Max Whitlock for England takes the silver on pommel horse.
Gold medalist and Commonwealth champion with a score of 16.058. Representing Scotland, Daniel Keatings.
No need to say his name. Scotland have brought him. He has joined the exclusive 16 stratospheric club. A man who can score 16 plus on pommel horse, Daniel Keatings. A golden performance, and accepts his medal in the way only he can, humbly and gratefully. Keatings is a great sportsman. Story, comeback trail, which goes back to the Olympic Games. Daniel Keatings, gold medalist on pommel horse. Pride for Scotland.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Scotland. Glasgow, let's celebrate our Commonwealth Games medalists.
Emotional moments. Scotland get their gold, and Daniel Keatings restores his status as one of our very best gymnasts in the whole of Great Britain. Good to see him back. What a final it was. Max Whitlock take the silver, and Lewis Smith proved to us his heart is still with us to take the bronze. What a final it was.
In our hearts of hearts, I think that was the order that we really wanted, wasn't it?
Do you know what? He's had such a tough time, and it means so much to him. I know his mum and dad and fiance are all in the crowd. Paul Hall was on the floor with him, and they've had to go through that tough time with him, so it's great. And to do it in Scotland and only to become the second ever gold medalist is a massive achievement.
I know, and I tell you, well, there's confirmation. Daniel Keatings takes the gold, Max Whitlock for England silver, Lewis Smith takes the bronze. But Flower of Scotland sounds really good in the hydro, doesn't it?
It's amazing, Matt. Just so happy for Dan. You know, he's the second man to do it, and it's lovely to pass it on. I'm absolutely delighted for him. He's been training so hard for this special moment, and wonderful to see. I
don't know if your mic was up at the time, but Beth and I were treated to a wonderful version of Flower of Scotland from you, Steve. So I think you've got a future there. There might even be a single in it. But yeah, just, I mean, we said, didn't we, he had such a wonderful smile on his face yesterday with the silver, and that gold just means so much. How do you think Lewis will be feeling?
Do you know what? You can see that he's pleased for Daniel. He's trained with him. They've been together since, I think, about 4 or 5 years old, and they've obviously been training on the national system with Max for a long time as well. But I'm just so pleased for him, and obviously his coach Paul Hall, he's had a big influence on Daniel, and it's been hard because obviously he's got 2 of the best pommel workers in the country, and he's taken them both to sort of Olympic medal status, European championship status. So Paul's had a big influence on both of their careers.
And Steve, what do you think this will mean for Dan Keatings from a selector's point of view as far as the British team is concerned?
Well, I think this turns the tables, really. He was performing under pressure, and he pulled it off. He's had the routines of his life here in Glasgow. So I think this is going to really make some of the selectors think again about that team selection for real.
Now, we're going to lose you very shortly because obviously we've just seen the medal ceremony there, and you have duties to do, don't you, as Scotland's, well, first gold medalist. You'll always be that. You'll always be that, Steve. At least you've got that.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I've actually been honoured enough to be presenting the rings medals.
Yes.
So that's going to be a great honour to pass it on to our next gold medalist on the rings.
Yeah, which is the discipline that you received your medal for. I think we've actually got a photo of you back in the day. Might even be moving footage. Because I don't know if they had it back then, did they, Steve? Oh, there we are, look. Yeah. Look at that. Look at you there.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
Do you?
Yeah, because it was straight after my final.
That's right. I do remember you, Beth, back then. Yeah.
But the thing, I mean, this is the point. Seeing images like this, and, you know, you will have inspired so many gymnasts. In fact, can we say this? Do you mind us saying this?
Okay,
that the year
that.
you got that gold medal,
yes.
Daniel Keatings was born.
It is incredible, isn't it? It's just,
yeah.
You know, I suppose that everybody needs someone to look up to. I had it as a gymnast as well.
Yeah, well, listen,
and
do you know what? Sorry, mate, just to cut you off there, because we have been wondering what Daniel's thinking. Well, the lads are down with Ori at the moment. We'll talk more in a second. Here we go.
Matt, we've all been in an incredibly privileged position in watching these three go out and perform just now. Guys, it was the one everybody wanted to watch. Dan, it was the one that you were looking forward to, and you delivered on the big stage. Just, can you describe what you've just been through?
Oh, it was just amazing being in front of a home crowd and, you know, doing probably one of the best routines that I've done. You know, I upped my game to a 7.2 start and I hit it, and I just had to rate for the rest of the competition.
And you've said this was the Olympics that you never had. Everybody here was cheering for you, buddy. Just, you seem to thrive in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I've had my best results in front of a home crowd, and I was happy to continue that here. And I'm just ecstatic with the win.
And was it extra special being up here against your mates, but also two of the best pommel horse workers in the world right now?
No, definitely. All three of us, we've got the highest start scores in the world at the moment, so the gold could have gone to any one of us. And it just happened today that it came to me, but it was such an amazing final. I was just happy to be in the final with these two guys.
Congratulations, man. I'm sure you're going to revel in it. Plenty more to come from you, and the rings as well to come later. And Max, another medal. Not a fourth gold, but a silver, a huge achievement nonetheless.
Thank you. Yes, I'm well happy. It was such a great final to be a part of, and it was very exciting. Massive congrats to Dan. He, you know, scoring a 16 is huge, and he managed to do it in front of a home crowd. And you know, well done to Lewis as well. You know, this whole competition's been great.
But, I mean, you're taking on a lot of stuff today. 3 apparatus finals. Did you feel like anything from the early apparatus was affecting your performance today?
No, I think it helps chill me out, like I said earlier, and just keeps me more relaxed. But you know, I'm starting to get a bit tired now. It's my 4th day of competing in a row. Just got one more piece to focus on, and then one more tomorrow, and then I'm done.
Oh, well done, mate. Well, looking forward to watching it. And Louis, the comeback is complete, mate. You seem to enjoy that.
Do you know what? I've had a brilliant time out there. The crowd's been fantastic. I think the guys did incredibly well, and it was just a great pommel horse final. You know, I went for a harder routine. You can see at the end I had nothing left to give. I was quite tired. But, you know, it didn't go my way, but I came 3rd. I'm very happy. I think it was quite unlucky for the Welsh guy, Jack, who did a great routine and just came in 4th. But I've had a brilliant time. It's been such good fun.
Well, you said you came off the pommel and you had nothing left to give. You were cheering and lapping up every minute. Everybody here was looking forward to seeing all of you up on there. But just what was it like to step back into this arena, be here amongst your friends, and back in here with thousands of people cheering on for you?
It's been unbelievable. I said to the guys before we marched out that there's not many pommel horse finals that I've said I've actually thoroughly enjoyed, and this one was just brilliant. You know, it was intense, the anxiety. It was just such good fun, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm glad I've come back, and I'm looking forward to carry on training.
Well, that's the question. We all know about your career off the mat. Are we looking forward to seeing more of you on the mat?
I think from what I've done so far at this Commonwealth Games, it'd be silly to give up. So yeah, I'm going to carry on training.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing more of you and more of all 3 of you. Congratulations, guys. Brilliant entertainment. Enjoy it.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks. Cheers.
Well, huge congratulations to the 3 lads there. We'll have a good chat with them later on, I'm sure, Beth, won't we just? Anyway, the lineup for the women's uneven bars is as such. We've got Elizabeth Beddoe, Rebecca Downey for England, Larissa Miller, Elizabeth Black, Kirsten Beckett, Georgia Rose Brown, Ria Thaker for Wales, and rounding off the competition, Ruby Harold. But the first gymnast to go then, Elizabeth Beddoe from Wales. She's got the beam final as well to come. But for the moment, she concentrates on uneven bars.
Led the Welsh team to their bronze medal. Very nice full pirouette, straight into the Shaposhnikova, up to the high bar. Hop. Oh, and that's an error. It's very difficult for these fairly inexperienced gymnasts to come straight in.